when you have chronic sinus issues like I did for over a decade, you go to the doctor and you keep asking for more antibiotics and this and that and the other. But people don't realize that chronic sinusitis is caused by fungal overgrowth, not bacterial overgrowth. They've shown in a recent Mayo Clinic study that 96% of chronic sinusitis was due to biofilm overgrowth, fungal overgrowth in the sinuses. So if you're taking an antibiotic, those are designed to fight bacteria, obviously, so that's not going to be a successful battle there. So what type of fungus will overgrow in the sinuses? Number one, Aspergillus. Aspergillus is the most common. This is a fungus that's in the home. It's typically due to water damage and other things like that. Aspergillus fumigatus, things like that. And this can colonize the sinuses and the sinus passages and cause you chronic sinus issues, right? Another one is Candida. Candida is another one. Another one is Alternaria. These are certain types of mold that can be inside of your home, and it can grow and go into your sinus passages. Not Candida, but the other two. And once they go into your sinus passages, then you have to be able to do something to be able to get rid of it, right? It's not going to be an antibiotic. So you have to use something that's an antifungal, and it's not a oral antifungal. I would not consider. I would be doing a antifungal nasal rinse. And the one that I know about is the grapefruit seed oil nasal rinse. There's one called by Nutribiotic that has grapefruit seed oil, xylitol, and one other ingredient in it. And what it does is it helps to disrupt the production of biofilms, helps to break down the biofilms, helps to disinfect the sinus passages, helps to get rid of the fungus, etc. But the reality is, when you have a chronic sinus issue, often it's because you're living in a house that has mold, and this mold has the capability to colonize your sinuses and actually infect you. And this is why, if you're having a chronic sinus issue, that you have to first test your home. You want to be able to see, is there an issue inside my home? Because if you're having sinus issues, it's probably something in the air that's causing the sinus issues, whether it's, even if it's dust, particulate matter, etc. You know, the reality is you're typically not so reactive to these things unless you already have these colonized sinuses, you know, unless you already have a severely reactive history in your sinuses. So if you want to be able to get over chronic sinusitis, you have to be able to get out of the home that's triggering you. And if you're still having sinus issues, still even after leaving that place, and you are 100% sure you're in a clean environment, which is very rare, then you want to use something to disrupt the fungus in your nose. The grapefruit seed extract is one. The grapefruit seed extract by Nutribiotic, the one that I've used, and use that over the course of 4 to 6 weeks. I started off with 3 sprays, 3 times a day for the first week. You probably will have a die-off. I started to get eye pressure, my blurry vision, a little bit of vertigo, etc. But over the course of the week, you go from 3 sprays 3 times a day. The next week, you go down to 2 sprays or 3 sprays twice a day, and then you keep going down eventually until about the 4th or 5th week where you get off it. But you just keep cutting back dramatically into a point where you're at nothing at 4 or 5 weeks. But the reality is it's going to take you 30 to 40 days to work through this. So be patient. The die-off reaction, if you experience it, should become more and more tolerable over time. And if you're starting to experience any irritation or anything like that, just take some time off. But this has been my personal experience. If you're using this sinus rinse and you're not noticing any type of die-off reaction at all, you probably don't have any issue to be concerned about. But if you're someone like me that went through 15, 20 years of sinus issues and up and down and left and right and etc., then you want to go ahead and try at least to focus on this colonization concept and see if it makes any progress for you. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, reach out to me. My website's endsickness.org, and I've got hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there teaching how to heal yourself. And hope you have a good day. Thanks.